My name is Tomasz Kosenski, and I welcome you to the uni-max workshop. Before us is a loose continuation of the trilogy on preparing a car not just for winter. In the first part, we focused on a sort of winter minimum for drivers who are conscientious but don't want to delve deeply into service issues. In this part, I assume that you are a bit of enthusiasts, and whatever you can handle it yourself on your car. Specifically, we will focus on removing and installing wheels, repairing a flat tire, and inflating it to the correct pressure. And in the third part, we will look at what uni-max has for testing and maintaining starter batteries. Removing and installing a wheel comes in handy, for example, when you have a flat tire on the road or when switching between summer and winter tires. No one doubts that it's better to have two sets of wheels, but I still want to remind you that tires definitely don't fare well when they are taken off and put on twice a year. Okay, so we have two sets of wheels, one with summer tires and the other with winter tires. During the last time we mounted the rims, we of course had the wheels balanced. I recommend taking a photo of the wheels after balancing so we have a comparison of the number of weights. If any fall off, we need to have the wheels balanced again. For changing wheels, we basically only need a jack and a wrench. Scissor jacks with a screw rod are the most compact, but working with them isn't very comfortable. So I improved the wrench so that it can be attached to a cordless screwdriver, which significantly speeds up the work with the jack. The advantages of a scissor jack, besides its favorable price, are its compact size and low weight. However, its stability is a downside, so I recommend using a larger base, like a piece of sturdy plywood. In a professional tire shop, they mostly use hydraulic jacks, and a cheaper version is also available for this kind of home lifting. If a car weighs about 1.5 tons, theoretically a 1-ton jack is more than enough, because we never lift the entire weight of the vehicle. However, hydraulic jacks are commonly available for 1.5 to 2 tons, so we have a safety margin. For really heavy passenger vehicles, like SUVs, off-roaders, or large pickups, or for vans, it's better to use a jack with a load capacity of 3 tons. When choosing a jack, we also consider the lifting range. For some vehicles, it will be necessary to get a low-profile jack to even get under the car. Any jack is only used to lift the vehicle off the ground and then lower it back down. After lifting, it is always necessary to secure the car with supports that will hold the load if the jack fails or if the vehicle falls for some reason. Theoretically, a car weighing 1.5 tons can be held in the air by 4 supports, each with a capacity of 400 kilograms. The load capacity of the 2-ton supports is therefore more than sufficient. Supports come in many designs. Foldable ones made of thin profiled steel sheet are compact, while those made of aluminum alloy are relatively lightweight. Both types have adjustable height and secure the columns with a pin. Supports with a cast iron spine column inspire a bit more confidence. They are easier to operate and are safer not only due to their robustness, but also thanks to double securing. The automatic latch provides the first level of security, while the pin provides the second if we plan to lie under the lifted vehicle. We always use both levels of security, or we might as well get loading ramps. While when we want to remove the wheels, it is necessary to lift the vehicle so that it is in the air. For some other service tasks, it is sufficient to drive onto an elevated spot. And that's exactly what various platforms and ramps are for. I have my eye on a foldable ramp. Once unfolded, it can be used as a ramp for lighter machines, such as a motorcycle, ATV, or garden equipment. Each ramp has a load capacity of 1,100 kilograms when folded and 340 kilograms when unfolded. Whether we have the car on ramps or on stands, it is necessary to secure it against moving forward or backward. The gears should be engaged, the parking brake should be pulled, and the wheels on the ground must be secured with chocks. So let's get to removing the wheels. If we are loosening the wheel bolts or nuts with a regular wrench, we must loosen them before lifting the wheel off the ground. Otherwise, the wheels will just spin. This concern is eliminated when using an impact wrench, which is typically used for loosening in the case of wheels. Commonly available impact wrenches, whether electric or pneumatic, do not have usable torque regulation. When tightening, we are not sure if we have tightened enough. However, it usually leads to exceeding the recommended torque, which can damage the thread or, in worst cases, even destroy the bolt. And that can have fatal consequences. Basically, we can loosen with anything, but we should tighten in the final step with a torque wrench. The torque specification must be prescribed by the vehicle manufacturer. Knowing the strength class of the bolt, we can also use standardized torque values. However, if we don't find either, we won't go wrong tightening with a torque of 110 to 125 meters. After driving a few kilometers, it's good to check the tightness of the wheels. Better safe than sorry. In addition to the classic ratchet torque wrench, which has the best price-to-accuracy ratio, we can also use a torsion adapter between the ratchet and the socket. The torque size is set electronically, and as we approach the set value, a beeping tone sounds. Upon reaching it, a longer continuous tone is heard. Let me return to the impact wrench. Specifically, this type has a torque of up to 1,350 millimeters, and even though it has a 3-stage tightening power adjustment, we have no guarantee of precise tightening. However, it's perfect for loosening even unnecessarily over-tightened or rusted bolts. It's a good idea to get socket wrenches that are designed for impact wrenches. Regular sockets would get damaged over time. We will also need a more powerful compressor. A flexible spiral hose with sufficient diameter is handy. We will also use it for inflating tires with air. In that case, we can't do without a pump with a pressure gauge. I know you know this, but I'll remind you that a pump can also be used to reduce the pressure in a tire. Specifically, you can release air through this valve. A small compressor, which we can carry in the trunk for emergencies, can also inflate tires. Unfortunately, an impact wrench is not enough. Before reassembly, it's advisable to clean the threads and seats. A special brush designed for cleaning both internal and external threads and the seating surfaces for screw heads is much more effective than a toothbrush. A pneumatic drill is available at the tire shop, but thanks to the standard 1/4-inch hex chuck, you can use any drill with a speed of around 1800 RPM. And finally, I have a tip for you on a simple yet very effective method for sealing a punctured tire. This involves vulcanizing plugs, which are inserted into the hole in the tread using a loop. The downside is that you need to locate the puncture and usually remove the wheel. And be careful, you can only repair a hole in the tread, not in the sidewall of the tire. Before application, it's necessary to calibrate the hole using the included manual. It may look brutal, but without this step, we won't be able to fit the plug into the small hole. The plug is threaded into the eye of the applicator needle, inserted into the hole, and the needle is quickly pulled out. We cut off the protruding part of the plug. The tire can be used immediately after reinflation. The advantages are the immediate and lasting effect of the repair, low cost, and reliability. Before the start and end of the winter season, we don't have to immediately queue up at the tire service. We could easily swap the wheels ourselves, and we can do it with the same quality as at a good service. You can find links to all the products, as usual, in the description below the video. If you liked it, please give us a like. And if you don't want to miss the next video from uni-max, also click subscribe and optionally hit the bell so you get a notification as soon as we upload a new video. Take care and see you soon in the uni-max workshop.